I'm assuming that you love Martin Scorsese movies, but I don't. I love this movie, Taxi Driver. That's really fucking great. And then my favorite Martin Scorsese movie of all time is probably in my top 20 movies. It's called After Hours. It's a comedy with Griffin Dunn, who I love and I want to have his babies. But I don't love Martin Scorsese movies, and I didn't watch the trailers for his new movie, and I didn't read anything about it. But some friends of mine were like, "Hey, let's go see this Martin Scorsese movie," and I was like, "Man, I don't love Martin Scorsese, but you know what? I just like to hang out with my friends." So I was like, "Okay, let's go see this movie." So we're standing outside the movie theater, and then I go, I don't know anything about this movie, but it's Martin Scorsese, so I'm assuming it's a bunch of white people killing white people. And then we go into this movie. I swear I didn't know what it was about. I had no idea. And then we go in there, and it's white people killing Native American people. And I was like, I mean, it's Scorsese. He loves killing people, you know? I don't really get that. Like, I'm a writer. I just can't imagine sitting down and going like, and then this person kills this person, and then this person stabs this person to death, and this person shoots this person's face off or whatever. Like, I don't, and this blows up this house. I don't think violently, and I don't really understand these violent impulses. I mean, if I wrote a book once with some violence in it, and it only came out like satirically because can't think about violence. Anyway, so I watched this movie, and the first thing I thought was like, man, I am so much more attractive than Leo DiCaprio. I don't know this sounds I know this sounds very egotistical, but have you seen Leo DiCaprio? I don't know what the appeal is. I assume that I think that he must have been attractive at some point, but I don't think he's attractive. I'm being ridiculous. All right, so I just didn't think that it was that great of a movie. So it was like, at the end of the movie, this friend of mine goes like, it's kind of sad. And I go, well, nobody's crying. I mean, there wasn't a wet eye in the house. Like, I didn't see anybody tearful at all because it's not, Martin Scorsese's thing is not, he doesn't evoke any emotions out of me. You know what I mean? Like, I've never watched a Martin Scorsese movie and cried. And honestly, I don't even watch his movies anymore because I gave up on him. But I saw this movie because some friends wanted to go, and that's my review is like, meh. I mean, it was better than, like hanging out with my friends is always fun. So, I mean, we took in all this food and we had some candy and I had some other stuff in there. And so that was good. You know what I mean? Like I took, this is what you want to do, what I found. If you don't want to like try to sneak popcorn in the movie in a big purse, then, you can do what I did, which is I went to the grocery store and I got like a big bag of, the stuff that you put in yogurt, whatever that stuff is called, this little crunchy granola-y shit, And then I had a big bag of that. And then I brought in some kind of candy and I had a bunch of candy. So my review of the Martin Scorsese movie, of which I have no idea what the title is the movie is boring. It's super long. And I don't think that, I mean, De Niro's playing De Niro, when he's, always De Niro. And then DiCaprio's been playing like DiCaprio. I always just, when I see Leo DiCaprio act, I'm just always like, I feel like I'm watching him act. I don't feel like, oh my God, like I'm looking at an actor acting. Like if I watch like, let's say Nicole Kidman or the woman that was in, Michelle, Williams, I'm like, I'm so engrossed. And then I know that I'm watching actors, but I'm a little more engrossed. I didn't never get engrossed with Leo. I don't know why. But I mean, at this point in the history of the world, people are giving like Matthew McConaughey an Oscar. I mean, that guy's sort of like the male Tara Reid, Anyway, so the first movie I saw was this movie that I didn't like, and it was Martin Scorsese. The second movie I saw was some other friends of mine were like, hey, let's go to the drive-in for a birthday viewing of this movie called Thanksgiving, which is this like horror movie where like all these people die in this sort of Black Friday incident at a mall or whatever. Gina Gershon dies. Sorry. And then, spoiler. And then, and then there's like, murder. And then it's not a good movie. Now, we had a great time because we were at a drive-in. So we were just like, we're doing like some tailgating. We got a beer and whatever. We're eating chips and popcorn. So my review of Thanksgiving is it's like every other horror movie you've ever seen. It's got like a couple of good lines in it, but not anything that I wish I could remember the best line, but it's near the end. And then that wasn't really great. But I really strongly recommend going to see a movie with your buddies at the drive-in, because that's a lot of fun. That's a lot more fun than the actual movie. I mean, that's where we're getting with movies, is you try to find a movie experience that's going to be better than the movie. The problem with movies I've found is I watch so much, or I have watched so much TV and movies, and you stream so much that you're like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And then you just kind of like, you go through like 12 things before you go like, oh, I'm going to watch this. This looks okay. But when you're at the movie theater, and it sucks, you're like, I can't walk out. I mean, I have, but not very frequently, because if you're going to go drive to the movie theater and then you go in and then you get some popcorn, or you sneak in your food, or you do whatever, and you're sitting there and then you go through this millions and millions of ads, and then you're watching this movie, and then you're like 5 minutes in and you're like, this movie is terrible. And then, you're just stuck there, or you leave, so I accidentally went to go see this god-awful musical where the guy from Gladiator had to sing while he was rowing a boat, Les Mis. And I was only going to see it because I was going to interview the director the next day. But the movie was so terrible, like 7 minutes in, I was just like, I can't. And then fortunately, the director canceled his interview. I'm sure he's great. I'm sure he's a good director or whatever. I don't know who it is. I forget. And I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on this director. I don't like those kind of pure musicals, and it was my fault. It was 100% my fault that I didn't like the Les Mis. If I'd known it was going to be just like everybody going like, and now we're rowing a boat, ha ha ha, Dick, I would have been like, man, I'm not going to go see that. I am not going to go see that. I don't want to see people singing and rowing a boat at the same time. That's not my thing. So if you enjoyed Les Mis, great. I'm very happy for you. But I did not. So anyway, the first movie I said was the Scorsese movie. Then the second movie was the Thanksgiving movie. But I'm very glad I went to both of them because I got to hang out with my friends. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? I give my friends an A+, 10 out of 10. The third movie I saw at home, alone. I chose it, and I watched the whole thing, and it was so good! You know what it was? It's called Renfield, and it stars Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Now, then it's got Nicholas Hoult from the UK TV show Skins, top 3 or 4 best TV shows of all time. Anyway, Nicholas Hoult plays Renfield, which is Dracula's little side buddy who eats bugs to get power. And he's not as powerful as Dracula, but he eats some bugs and then he can like kill people or whatever. And so again, I'm not really into murder. I don't like murder stuff, but I'm kind of over it. However, the Renfield thing is, man, this movie is so fun and charming. And I think it's like, if I were going to give the Oscar for best movie to one of these 3 movies, I would totally give it to Renfield. I'd give best actor. I would do a tie between Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. I love both of them. I think Nicolas Cage is underrated. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Nicolas Cage makes all these like cheesy B movies or whatever. Man, get out of here. There's only like 2 Nicolas Cage type of movies. There's the type of movie that's a really great movie and Nicolas Cage is incredible in it. And then there's the B tier, the tier B list of Nicolas Cage films, which aren't as good as the other movies. But it's, Nicolas Cage is in the movie, so the movie's going to be better than everything else you're going to see. Because even if you watch that what's that movie, Ghost Rider? The first one's fine. The second Ghost Rider's so good. And then there's a movie that's very similar to Ghost Rider 2, and it's called Drive Me from Hell or something. I forget what it's called. It's something about hell, where Nicolas Cage has to escape hell in a car. At the very beginning, he's like, wow, he comes out of hell, and then he has to go find somebody that's kidnapped his daughter or something. Or killed his daughter? Killed his daughter. I don't remember. Anyway, so Nicolas Cage, man, he's so good as Dracula, and he's so good bursting out of hell, and he's so good at everything. Honestly, I saw some movie where I forget the name of it, but where he was in a hotel, and it's like this starts off with Nicolas Cage in this hotel, and the whole thing's in this hotel, and you probably know it, but it's super good. You're just like, wow, this is so good. I never even heard of this movie. And all you got to do is go on whatever streaming service you are and just look for Nicolas Cage, and you're gonna watch some movie, and you're gonna be like, I'm glad I'm watching this because Nicolas Cage is in it, And he's in the best Vegas movie of all time, Leaving Las Vegas. I don't want to hear any of you people talking about Casino. Nope. It's Leaving Las Vegas. That's the best Vegas movie. It's really great. It's beautiful, and he's incredible. And Elizabeth Shue's in it. Like I interviewed Elizabeth Shue on this red carpet once, and I go, hey, I told her a true story. She was with her husband too, so I feel bad about saying this in front of her husband, but you know what? I'm an honest person. Very transparent. So here comes Elizabeth Shue down this red carpet at the Wynn Hotel for some event. And then I go, oh my God, it's Elizabeth Shue. I go, I got to tell you, when I first moved to Vegas, I had seen Leaving Las Vegas, which you're in. And so the first month or 3 months that I was in Vegas, I would just walk around on the sidewalks and go, Elizabeth Shue, where are you? And then she liked that, That's kind of a compliment. She's great. I love it. Anyway, 3 movies recently. I can recommend one of them. Renfield. Renfield is a keeper. I'm not saying it's the best movie of all time, so don't go like, oh, Doug all hyped all this up and it's not as good. It's a good movie. It's cute. And Nicolas Cage is phenomenal as Dracula. And then he's almost overshadowed kind of by Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult is one of the best living actors. And you're like, what's he in? All right, well, he was in Skins. If you never saw the TV show Skins, the UK version, not the MTV crap, the UK version, the first 2.5 seasons of Skins, incredible. The first 2 seasons especially, fantastic. It's about a bunch of British kids doing a bunch of drugs and having sex. And unlike American TV, they showed a lot and they talk about stuff and it's kind of gritty. And yet it's also cartoonish in some ways. But each episode sort of focuses on a different person in the group. And it's a great way to watch a show where each episode's about one of the people in the group. And then all the other cast members are supporting actors in each episode. Listen, Skins, fantastic. Way better than that HBO show with the druggie, sober druggie on HBO. It's way better than that. And I liked the first season of that HBO druggie show. But, skip that. Just go straight to Skins, watch the first 2 seasons, and then go to the very, very, very last season and watch the 2 episodes that have the blonde lead. And there's 3, whatever. Okay, Renfield. Watch Renfield. Is good. It's very good. Just kind of kick back and be like, I want to do a little bit of laughing and silliness. If you like a little laughing silliness, Renfield. And then if you like a really super boring 3-hour movie made by Martin Scorsese where it's a bunch of white people killing Native American people, that's whatever that movie's called. I don't even remember. And then the Halloween movie, if you want to just go to the drive-in with your buddies. So what I'm saying is go to the movies with your friends or watch movies with your friends. And Renfield. Okay, that's it. Those are my reviews for today. I'm not going to get used to doing reviews because I don't like doing them, but I wanted to tell you about these movies. I love you. Ha 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 ha, Dick.